not stray far again into the pits of Tartarus, or become lost like all its residents. Content yourself to look upon it from afar.
How about I take a closer look?
Look, Zag, I don't entirely recall what happened at that feast you threw for all of us down there, but let me tell you, I am under the impression it went smashingly. It was amazing, man. Let's have another one sometime, all right?
It was my privilege to have visited your father's house, and briefly had a chance to meet you, Zagreus. Nyx and your mother each are very shrewd. Perhaps you've taken after both of them. As for your new responsibilities, exposing weak points and defenses is my specialty.
It pleases me your gathering of the Olympians occurred. I must inform you, I have never once before detected quite so many of my offspring in a single space. At least not without violent intent. I appreciate that you included me, and that you have returned. Shall we continue then?
Too good of an offer to pass up.
Why do it to me like that, Zag, man? I thought we were close as grapes upon the vine, but I was wrong?
Well, that's that.
Okay, thanks for a good laugh there, Zag. What was it I was going on about before?
Gotta tell you, cuz, that was a real something of a feast back at your place. A little awkward having to pretend we just met, but hey, I'm an Olympian, means I can posture with the best of them. Good times, cuz. Glad it all worked out.
Hello, Fury Sisters.
Electo Tis, you ready? You look like you had trouble getting to me, Zagreus. Did you try asking for directions on the way?
You sound like Hypnos. He's getting to you, isn't he? Isn't he?
You shut your mouth right now with it. Come die.
I wish to tell you once again I had a splendid time during our recent shared festivities, my kin. At last, I've finally seen your death-filled realm firsthand. I learned a great deal. And I look forward to learning more from our successful collaboration.
Hope you enjoyed the feast with the Olympians, Charon. We didn't have much of a chance to chat, though it looked like you and Hermes were having a good time. We'll have to do it again sometime. Big crowd, huh?
You'll have to excuse the champion there, short one. He hasn't been himself, though he'll still fight you to the death, I'm sure.
That's good, because you had me worried for a moment there. Hey, maybe I can knock some sense back into him. What do you think?
I'm not so sure. I've tried. But I know better than to underestimate you. Fight us then.
Oh, dearest, you've no idea what a delightful time I had while visiting you recently. So many new sights and sounds and smells, why, it was wonderful. And you are burdened with a big responsibility, aren't you? Mind if I lend my graces to you still from time to time?
Joyfully, the Hound of Hell accepts another satyr sack.
Thank you, boy. All right, this is it.
If you are here, then, the Olympians must still be lending you their aid. Just as before. I scarce believe the Queen's preposterous idea worked. That all it took to settle an old score was a blasted family feast.
Come on, Father, even you must have enjoyed that feast to some extent. We ought to do it more often. Good thing you trusted Mother's judgment on that one. So then, to the death once more?
Indeed. To the death as always, boy. Zagreus, ready yourself.
That's rough. I heard the feast you had here. It was really something else. All the gods together in one place, eating, drinking, not killing one another. That must have been a sight.
You should have been there, Hypnos. Not that I noticed your absence, though what happened? Other pressing business?
Slept through the whole thing.
Wow.
So, lad, tell me then, how went the family feast? Was everything all right?
Well, I confess I was perhaps a little nervous for practically the entire thing, but all in all, I had a good time, and I'm very, very glad it all turned out the way it did. How about yourself?
I quite enjoyed it too. Last time I was invited to a feast, I was still busy warring on the surface. That's how long it's been. I must say, your mother's quite good with words. Had everybody chatting, laughing.
She really pulled it off. But for all her confidence, I don't think she knew she had it in her. Because if she did, if she reached out to Olympus sooner, a lot of things could have been different.
Don't dwell on that. I spoke a bit with Nyx. Your mother had her reasons. No one gets to act on perfect information, right? All we have is what we think we know, and what our conscience tells us. Your mother got to where all this was possible, all thanks to you.
All thanks to me, sir. I had ample help along the way. For instance, I could not have done it without you. Would have been using an old chair leg as a weapon, I suppose.
And what a fearsome chair leg it would be. In any case, you heading out there soon? Olympus should be more than happy to assist in your security review, if that's what we're calling it now.
Yeah, I should go. I'll see you not too long from now.
And you in turn.
I have to say, Mother, that was a clever plan. Convincing Father to finally let somebody have some fun around here.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for the best. There's just one thing that happened that I ought to tell you about, son. No secrets between us and all. This is quite difficult for me to say.
It's about Demeter, isn't it? You two were talking half the night. She wants you to come home with her, doesn't she? You'll always be her little one, something like that.
Indeed. Something like that. You're quite perceptive, have I ever told you, Zagreus? But yes, my mother, she was quite conflicted. Didn't know whether to smite me or to hold me. Maybe both. And yes, she asked that I come home. To my responsibilities.
So, you're leaving? No, Mother, you can't be leaving. You just got here.
Oh, it's not as bad as that. It's just... if we are to keep the peace down here, then I must spend some time up there. Every so often. But I shall always return in no time at all. I promised Hades, and I promise you.
Well then, when are you going to go?
Soon, Zagreus. Perhaps by the time you're back.
I don't suppose I can come with you, can I?
You know the surface isn't good for you. Besides, you're needed here. But if you really want to see it for yourself someday, who knows? Perhaps eventually we'll figure out a way.
I'm going to miss you, Mother.
I'm going to miss you too, son.
We're all very proud of you, boy. You were so well behaved at the feast. I was worried sick one uncle or the other was going to set you off at some point, but you were patience incarnate. Thanks for helping show our extended family a good time.
How Infernal Cerberus, the Hound of Hell, managed to maintain civilized behavior throughout the duration of the recent feast remains a mystery to all who attended.
It was a privilege to meet your relatives at last, child. Athena, Ares, and the rest. Confronted face to face, they were much more agreeable than I expected. A night we shall remember, was it not?
A memorable night it was indeed, Nyx. For most of us, at least. Dionysus, he won't remember any of it, I don't think. But it was really good to see everyone having a good time. Getting along as though they didn't hold a grudge. So then we're clear, I think.
Persephone told them everything they needed to hear. Sometimes that is the only way with family. Though the Olympians, they are prone to their misunderstandings, are they not? This state of kinship may not last eternally.
Well, let's enjoy it while it does, I guess.
A sound idea.
The stalwart casks of wine within the House of Hades now are almost entirely devoid of content, having bravely stood against the combined thirst of the Olympians during a certain feast.
They fought bravely, but Lord Dionysus was too strong. Dusa, this whole place, it looks immaculate. That's even after all Olympus came here for that giant feast. How did you get everything clean so fast?
Oh, well, I guess I have my ways, friends. Sometimes you get one of those jobs and you just want to give it everything you've got, you know? I get a lot of jobs like that. Feeding Cerberus, cleaning the rafters. But this one, I just knew it was the perfect job for me.
Well, you did amazing here.
Come on, boyo, let's gab and more stabbing over here.